Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 209 of the NZC podcast, the official podcast at NZC Community. This podcast recorded live on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the official NZC Twitch. It is available to stream on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. My name is Mike, and I'm riding solo today because Ivan is celebrating his wife's birthday. So I will be helming the ship for today. I have a special guest with me today, but before we get to that, we have a special giveaway. We have, see him right there. We have a Poochie plush, a sticker pack.
We have him right here too.
Oh yeah, there we go, right there. So if you guys want to join the giveaway, exclamation point giveaway in the chat, and make sure to stay tuned to the end of the stream as there is a special code that gives you, I think, 1,000. I raised it to 1,000 now, extra entries into the giveaway. So stay tuned. And without further ado, let me pull up my thing. Okay, introducing a content creator that has the cutest cross-eyed kitty in the world, an incredibly talented cosplayer that has done, prepare for this, Daki, Melania, Lucy, Zelda, Gemma, Hinata, Diva, Ino, Fade, Pura, Tifa, Shadowheart, Mitsui, Sukuna, Squirrel Girl, Dark Magician Girl. I think I got everything. You're insane, by the way, for doing all these cosplays. Our smooth brain scuff streamer herself, Olivia. Olivia, can you please introduce yourself and tell us what you're all about to our audience?
Hello, my name is Olivia. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. My handle is just my name, Olivia, with 2 O's and an underscore at the end. But I also do a lot of cosplay. I kind of got started by doing cosplays on stream for the game that I was playing. And I still kind of do it every once in a while, but now I just kind of do first playthroughs of games. Right now I am playing through Assassin's Creed Shadows, trying to get to the DLC. I do some Elden Ring Night Rain as well, playing through Hollow Knight Silksong right now, as much as it hurts. But yeah, a lot of first playthroughs of games, a lot of cosplays, Elden Ring, of course, Melania. So, yeah, that's me. And my cross-eyed cat might be coming to make an appearance.
Yes, I'm so excited. Oh.
No.
So cute.
Oh, hi, baby.
Oh. What's her name?
This is Rudi. He is the Elden Lord, we call him.
Oh, he is beautiful.
He's very handsome.
Is he a tabby?
He's a Siamese lynx.
Oh, I've never even heard of that before.
Yeah.
Wow.
He sounds really fancy, but they probably found him in a dumpster, honestly.
And I found my dog in my dog was born in a dumpster in North California. So I feel ya.
It builds character.
Hey, it's just part of life. They're tough like that.
Exactly. Well, I don't know if I would call him tough, but he's something.
He's tough in some ways.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go a little bit into basically how you got into gaming in general. So we're gonna go blast at the past. So like,
okay,
how did you first get into gaming? Like your first ever gaming? Do you remember?
I was gaming literally ever since I was a kid. Like some of my first memories were gaming. And I do have an older brother, so we had a lot of games that were like before when I was born necessarily. And so some of my first memories were of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh, that's my favorite game right there.
They're good games, and it's coming to the Switch too. I'm so excited. But those are like some of the very first games that I remember playing, and literally it was like a constant thing. It didn't matter how many times I had played them before. I have memories of waking up early for school to get to play Zelda Majora's Mask before I went to school. And then you just leave it on a pause menu and you turn off the TV, but don't turn off the console. And that way it's ready for you when you get home.
Wow, you were like hardcore gamer. You're like,
I was in it. Oh yeah, and since I had a brother, I was like, I would do that all the time. I would just leave it on the pause menu, turn off the TV, and he would come back and he would want a game, and I'm like, no, I haven't paused. I was gonna play that.
When did you guys separate into like getting your own consoles and stuff?
Probably when we were like, I think I was 10. He's 3 years older than me, so probably like 13, 12ish for him, because it was around when Minecraft came out. He had gotten a laptop for Christmas like a couple of years before, and so every once in a while I would use his laptop to play games on his laptop. But then when Minecraft came out, he was the one that was like, hey, look at this cool game called Minecraft. And I was like, oh my God, this game is sick. But then we had the same problem of, I want to play it. So then I would just leave it on his laptop, and he'd be like, what's my laptop? I want to play. And I'm like, but I'm playing. And then my parents were like, we can't keep doing this. They're fighting all the time. So then they got me my own laptop, and then I started playing Minecraft. And that was amazing. But before then, we were fighting over the GameCube, fighting over the Wii. I unfortunately never had like a PlayStation or an Xbox growing up, so I was like Nintendo only. So when I kind of got old enough to realize that there's like other consoles except for Nintendo ones, I was like, wow, there's more games.
There's a life outside of the Nintendo world.
Right? I was like, you mean Zelda's not all of games? Why not?
So what would, if you had to choose like the favorite game of the childhood, like you can only remember one, which would it be Minecraft, or would it be like?
No, I don't think it, I think it would probably be Zelda Wind Waker.
Oh, that's a good one.
To be honest, because I feel like that was the one that I played like all the time. And I don't know why I gravitated towards that one, but I loved that one. And then, yeah, when Twilight Princess came out, oh, that was like eye-opening for me. That is still like one of my favorite Zelda games. Like the atmosphere, the aesthetic of it, the whole story. Midna's still best girl. Love her. Zelda Twilight Princess, still the best design for Zelda. I'll die on that hill. And it was, so I feel like Wind Waker was just for me, it was like the perfect Zelda game for my childhood. It was amazing. It wasn't like too difficult for like a 5-year-old to not understand it. But like, because I feel like if I were to go back and play Ocarina of Time, I'm like, how did I figuring this out at 6 years old? But
Wind
like, Wind
Waker
Waker
was
like
pretty easy, the long as you remember the the up left like songs and stuff like that. It wasn't that terrible actually. Now I think about it. But yeah, Ocarina of Time is, I'm like, I don't think
I get confused now. I'm like, how did I do this when I was a kid?
So you've been gaming for all your childhood basically.
Yeah.
And then you also started to watch streamers during this time, right? Like you started watching, people actually playing games, which is a weird concept back then. Now it's such a common thing. Did you remember who you were watching when you first started watching Twitch streams?
Well, I think that I initially, like the very first ones that I was watching was like all the big like gaming YouTubers back in the day. Cause I think that's kind of how I got like introduced to Twitch, was I was probably watching like all the big gaming YouTubers, probably like Captain Sparkles back in the day with all the Minecraft stuff. And then I was like, yo, Twitch is kind of cool. And I started to want to watch some of like whatever I wanted to watch rather than just like the YouTubers streaming. And I was like, what games do I really like? I like Zelda games. So I would go into a bunch of Zelda streamers. And this is back in like 2013. Like literally as soon as I was like able to have a Twitch account, I was like, I'm going to go on Twitch. I'm going to watch my streamers. And I just kind of found myself watching a lot of Zelda speedruns. That's kind of how I got introduced to speedrunning and learned what that was, because I'd never heard of it before. And I met a now friend of mine. His name is Demon on Twitch. And he was back then like world record holder for Wind Waker. I was like, oh, so cool. Like fastest guy to play Wind Waker ever. And he comes into play later when I like first get into starting streaming. But that was like how I initially got into watching streams, because it was first just like, wow, I like Minecraft is cool, but then it was like, let me branch out into some of the other games that I actually enjoyed growing up and get to see other people play them for the first time. And then that just transpired into me watching everything else on Twitch and now being here.
That was actually a nice lead up, because I was wondering how watching these guys, play these games and everything, how did that influence you to becoming a streamer yourself?
So I didn't have like the best childhood growing up, especially like later teenage years. And I feel like getting to watch all of these streamers growing up it was like an escape for me almost. Like I would come from school and my day would suck, and I was like, but I have this streamer who's live all the time, so I can just go like hang out in their chat. And it was so nice getting to be able to actually go into somebody's chat and like connect with. It wasn't the same as like a YouTube video where you just go and it was like pre-recorded, but you could like go there and it was like a sense of community. It was great. I made so many friends in these Twitch chats back in the day, and it felt so nice to just feel like you're a part of something. So I think that kind of made me, when I was getting older, I was like, I want to do that for other people. It's like, I remember how happy watching streamers made me, especially when I was going through like a not so great childhood. I was like, I want to do that for other people. So I was like, I'm going to start streaming, and if I can make somebody's day better, then that's good enough for me.
I like
and
it.
now we're here.
So now I know there's a couple people in chat that are starting their like content creation era, like they're starting to stream or make videos and stuff like that. So for those that want to get into streaming, like what was like the biggest challenge when you first started streaming, and do you have like advice to others who feel like lost or felt like they're not getting anywhere?
Well, I think the biggest thing for when I started streaming was actually just pressing go live, because there was like this big lead up point to me first streaming where I was like, oh, I don't want to go live yet. Like, it's not perfect. Like I was trying to make my overlays perfect. I was trying to get my alerts to be perfect. Like I just wanted to like start with the most perfect stream ever. And it just kept delaying me from actually starting stream, because I was like, let me just continue working on it, and then I'll go live later. But like, it's never really perfect. Of course, I thought it was perfect at the time, and now I look back at my old clips and I'm like, ew. That's disgusting. But I think that was like the worst part, was just trying to get over the fact that it's not going to be perfect. And even still, I still have so many like tech issues on a frequent basis, but that's just like part of it. Like I feel like I've just embraced it at this point. I'm just the scuffed streamer. Like, is it an Olivia stream if something doesn't go terribly wrong? No. I was literally doing a stream for Logitech 2 days ago. My camera stopped working. Like it happens. So I think that just you have to like embrace the fact that it's never going to be perfect, and you just have to do it. And that's the most important part. I mean, I still struggle with that, especially when it comes to like other platforms. I think I'm used to it now with Twitch, with just like, oh, I'll just stream and it's chill, whatever. But I still get in my head about just like, oh, I don't want to post this TikTok. It's not perfect. But like, am I ever going to grow on TikTok if I don't post it? No. So like, I definitely need to still get better at that. But I think that's honestly like the most important part. Just doing it in the first place.
I mean, it's the idea to like, you miss 100% of shots you don't take. So unless you're actually going to do it, you're not going to get anywhere for that.
Yeah.
I do want to get a little bit, because I did have that question. That is like your tagline is smooth brain scuff streamer. So like, did you coin the phrase? Did your audience, your community coin it? Or did it just kind of just evaporate to thin air?
It just kind of like happened. I don't know if it was necessarily me or my community. But I feel like it's a pretty frequent thing in my streams for me to have my smooth brain moments where there's just nothing going on upstairs. Nobody's home. The lights are definitely not on. I quite literally just work here. And it just kind of happened, and now I just embrace it. That's just me, smooth brain, scuff streamer. No ridges or lumps or valleys or bumps. All ideas slide right off.
I appreciate that. I love that.
Yeah, and Rui contributes to it. My cat, he's also very smooth brain. He does his best, but that's all we can really ask of him.
I was literally about to say that. I'm like, hey, as long as he's trying,
he's just his job here is to be adorable.
and does his
I
job
just stream
well.
when he's busy. He's the real streamer. I'm just a placeholder. Everyone's really here for him. But he's tired right now, so he couldn't make it to the podcast. I'm sorry.
No, it's all he's got a busy schedule. I know he's booked.
He
He's booked for the whole week. I know.
Yeah. It was hard to pencil this in, I know. So
So I kind of want to ask your journey through streaming, because I actually got a couple questions for people that wanted to ask about, like, you know, the in-depth like part of like Twitch partner and everything like that. So if you could start from like the beginning of your Twitch stream to like till like when you became partner, if you can describe that journey in general.
So I think my very, very, very first stream, before I even necessarily like considered myself a streamer, it was like 2016, and I was literally just streaming to my friends. I think the very, very, very first game that I played was a horror game on stream, believe it or not, because now I despise horror games. I can't do them, but it was an older game called Emily Wants to Play. I think it came out in like 2015 or something. And I just on a whim, I was like, let me go start stream. My friend's been wanting me to play this game for a while. I'll do it. And then this is where my friend from earlier, Demon, who was the Wind Waker speedrunner, comes back into play. My very, very first stream ever. I hit live 3 minutes ago. He had just gotten a personal best in Wind Waker, raids me with 500 people. My very, very first stream. I had pressed live not even 5 minutes ago, and I had 500 people in my chat, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? So I feel like I was immediately just like thrust into what being a streamer is. That was just it. And I was like, oh my God, what do I do? So I will say that I had a pretty like insane first stream. I feel like most people are like, yeah, my first stream on Twitch, literally nobody came into chat and I was talking to myself the whole time, which I feel like is like the canon streamer first time experience. And that's fine. I always tell people to like not compare their streaming journey to me, because I didn't have a normal one. I got rated for 500 people my very first stream. Granted, did they ever stick around? No, because I didn't stream again till like 7 years later. But it definitely made getting affiliated way easier, because that's like the first step of streaming. And so for anybody in chat who might not know, you start on Twitch, you just normal, you have an account, you press go live, whatever. And then the first step is to be affiliated. I think that they've changed the requirements for it now, but back when I got affiliated, it was you had to have like an average of 3 viewers over 30 days. You'd have like 50 followers, and I think it was like 12 hours of stream time within like 30, 90 days, something like that. And I think a lot of people struggle with the followers, and the 3 average viewers is what a lot of people will struggle with to get affiliated. But because I had been on Twitch for so long at that point, I had a Twitch account for almost 10 years before I ever started like really streaming. I literally got all the requirements like immediately. The only thing that was like holding me back from getting affiliated was like the hour requirement, because I had to stream that long, and it took me like 3 days to stream that long, I think. But then as soon as I did that, I was like, boom, affiliated. And I was playing Sekiro. And it was very first game that I streamed on. I was like really trying to be a streamer, I guess. And then I took like a complete 180 pivot after I finished that game, and I was like, we're gonna play Stardew Valley, which is not the same at all. So at first when I was playing Sekiro, I was literally just streaming to like my friends. Like most of the people in my chat were like friends that I went to high school with, people that like were in my town growing up that I knew. Like it was mostly friends. And every once in a while I would have like old friends from like way back when I was watching Zelda speedruns like pop in a chat and say hi and everything. And I think that was just kind of like the perks of being on the platform for that long. Because I think that most other people that are just randomly on a Tuesday, like I'm gonna start streaming, like they don't really have that, which makes it a little bit harder and can make a lot of people discouraged when it comes to that, because they're like, oh, I streamed for 4 days and I've been talking to myself, and I'm like, that's just kind of part of it until you kind of find a niche that you kind of mesh with a little bit. Um, and I think that like the first little bit of growth that I ever really found was with Stardew Valley and like the cozy community on Twitch. It was insane because I feel like I had such wild growth for somebody who had started streaming like 2 months before that. Um, Within like a couple of months of starting streaming, I went from 100 followers to like 1,000. I was averaging like 50 viewers playing Stardew Valley on like a pretty regular basis. Um, so I think it was really just kind of it was just kind of up from there. Honestly, I think that consistency played a huge part. I think that that's a thing that a lot of people don't necessarily take into account because I feel like what I hear a lot with people starting stream and they're like, I don't see any growth. And I'm like, well, when are you streaming? And they're like, oh, this random time and this random time and this random time. And I'm like, well, people don't know when to expect you to be back. I was streaming almost every single day. Granted, do you have to do that? No, I don't recommend it because that's how you get burnt out so fast. And have I gotten burnt out? Absolutely. But I think that being consistent and having like some sort of schedule and having a time when people can expect you to be back helps tremendously with retaining people. And I think that just kind of carried over and carried over and carried over. And even though I'm a variety streamer, I feel like that being a variety streamer kind of hurts sometimes when you switch categories because you gain a lot of people from one game and they're there. They enjoy your stream, but they're mostly there for the game. So when you switch a game, then you're going to see a drop in numbers. But if you're there all the time, then some people will be like, oh, I like the streamer and she's always here at this time. I can expect her to be back and I'll continue watching, you know? But it was kind of steady around 40, 50 average for a while. And then right before Zelda Tears of the Kingdom came out, I was like, you know what, I'd already played Breath of the Wild at the time, but I was like, let's do a replay of Breath of the Wild before Tears of the Kingdom, kind of like drive the hype up for Tears of the Kingdom, kind of get everybody excited for it, and we're gonna replay it. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna cosplay Zelda on stream while I play the game. So every single stream that I played, I was cosplaying Zelda for months. And it was so extreme. Like looking back on it, I'm like, am I crazy for this? Because there's no way that you could get me to get into cosplay every single stream now. I would lose my mind. But I would literally come home, get into Zelda cosplay, and then stream for like 4 or 5 hours. And people ate it up. They were like, oh my God, not only am I getting my Zelda content, but I'm also getting to watch Zelda. And I saw such insane growth with doing that because it was something that set me apart from the rest of the category because everyone's scrolling through their first playthrough, but then they're like, oh, somebody's cosplaying, that's pretty cool. And I found a lot of friends in the same category that would raid me for the first time because they would see the cosplay and it would boost my analytics. It would be great. And that ended up being how I got partnered a little over a year after I started streaming, which is like insane. Normally it takes people, I don't know what the average is for like getting partnered on Twitch, but it's like a couple of years is like how long it takes for your average streamer to get partnered. And I managed to get partnered in a year in like 2-3 months because I started streaming in like May of the year prior and I got partnered in the very beginning of August the year after. So and now we're here, still doing the same thing, less cosplays, not every single day cosplay, but every once in a while cosplay, every once in a while.
That was actually,
I do see go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that was actually a perfect question that someone asked, is how to do with variety streaming, because people get stuck into a silo, like they can only play Counter-Strike or they can only play League of Legends, and you're kind of stuck into this like funnel of this is it, man, like this is the only audience that cares about it, and that happens with burnout. So people go, oh, but I want to play multiple games, but then you don't have a niche, you don't have that audience that will stick around, because someone that watches League won't necessarily watch someone who plays Counter-Strike. So I think you answered it correctly. It was, you just have to find something that makes you stand out compared to everyone else.
Yeah. I did see a question in chat though. There was when I started streaming. I started really streaming and like taking it more seriously, I guess, in 2022. I think it was May of 2022. And then I got partnered in August of 2023 because this year was my 2-year partner anniversary. So yes, started in 2022, partnered in 2023.
That actually leads into another question. I saw in your bio you said that you are taking a break from college to focus on mental health and enjoy life and everything like that. First of all, super appreciate how open you are about that, because I know that may be a little taboo to some people, and being open and being, you know, willing to show like, hey, you know, I'm dealing with stuff. But like, first, how did you decide on that conclusion, and then how has it been since you made that decision?
So I was originally in college and I was planning on going to teach English in Japan. That was like, odd career path, I know. But that was originally the plan. So I was 2 years into college and I was paying out of pocket. I had no scholarships. I got no FAFSA. I was paying so much money to go to college. It hurt. And I was working at the same time. I was in college full time, like 13 to 15 credit hours, an insane amount. I was also working part time, like 3 to 4 days a week at a restaurant and streaming. So I was doing quite a lot. And because I was minoring in Japanese to go teach English in Japan, my second year Japanese professor did not care. Oh my God, she gave us so much homework. It was unreal. And oh my God. And like, I had a tutor. I even went to a tutor, which was like such a hard like hurdle for me to jump over and be like, okay, I need a tutor. I started going to tutoring, and even he was like, hey, professor, you're giving a lot of homework. And he was like, okay. And I was like, okay. She did not care. And that was honestly like that much homework was like my breaking point, because there was one time where I would honestly, my sleep schedule during college was so messed up. I would go to class in the morning. I would come home at like 3-4 o'clock. I would go to work at a restaurant until like 8-9 p.m., 10 p.m. I would come home. I would take a nap, not a sleep, a nap. I would wake up. I would start stream at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I would stream until like 6, 7, 8 a.m. I would take another nap, and then I would go to class. Did that all week. Yeah, I was insane. My stream schedule for like a year and a half was starting at 3 o'clock in the morning.
So how much
which I don't do anymore.
Were you getting a day?
Maybe like 5 hours. Yeah, it was really bad. It was really bad. We'll get into that part later, because that's no longer my stream schedule, because we'll get into that later. But yeah, I had like such an insane schedule. I had so much crazy homework, and I literally just had like a breakdown one day because I canceled stream that night. I was doing homework for like 4 hours, still wasn't done. I had a test in class that same day that I hadn't even gotten to study for. And I was like, I'm gonna bomb this test. And I still have all this homework. I think I had like a B in the class at the time, which like is fine, but it was about a drop because I was about to bomb this massive test. I still hadn't finished my homework. And I was like, I can't do this all semester. I'm gonna lose it. I was losing it. And I think I quite literally had a breakdown at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I like called my mom sobbing, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And she was like, okay. Which like good on her for being like, okay. Because I know most parents would be like, suck it up. But my mom, I think, could tell like how much I was struggling. And she was like, okay. Like, if you want to withdraw from classes, okay, withdraw from classes. I was like, oh, thank God. And I was like, so in my head at the time being like, oh my God, am I making the wrong decision? Like, I'm not going to get a college degree. What if I never go back to college? Like, I just wasted all this money and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm going to be a failure and a loser. But I think that it was 1000% like the best decision for myself, because I was losing my mind, literally. And then I just kind of chilled out for a little while. It felt weird to see a lot of my other friends at the time like continuing through college. They were graduating, they were getting these cool jobs, and I'm just sitting here and like I'm working at this restaurant, and I moved back to my hometown, and like it hurt a little bit, but at the same time I was like, but I'm happy, and that's what matters. I was like, it doesn't necessarily matter if I'm not necessarily doing what everyone else is doing, because it was making me happy. And I had like that epiphany at a friend of mine's wedding. A girl that I went to high school with, she had a wedding, and she had this table of like all the people that we were sitting. It was a bunch of people from high school. We were all sitting together. And there was a point where everyone was basically going around the table being like, what do you do now? What do you do now? And it was like, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm in law school. I'm working with marine biology at this place in Alabama. And I was like, I play video games on the internet. And I feel like everyone looked at me like, okay, loser. And I was like, but then I was like, I don't even talk to these people. Why do I care what they think? I play video games for a living. Like, you work with fish? Okay, whatever. So, and now I think it's 1000% what I was supposed to do. And now being where I'm at with streaming, I'm like, I feel like no sadness whatsoever about dropping out of college. Maybe I'll go back one day. But right now I'm like, I'm chilling. I'm happy. Who cares?
There you go. And I think that's something that everyone, especially myself as well, dealing with is, comparison is always a thief of joy,
Yeah.
You can always be like, that guy, I felt that when I was watching sports the other day, and it was like, this 19-year-old kid is going to become the next Olympian athlete. And I'm like, 19 years old? Like,
it makes you go, what am I doing wrong?
There you go, Mael. There you go. Everyone's journey is different. So like, I think that's something that everyone should learn, is that like, where you are in life, it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. If it doesn't look like somebody else's, that's fine. So it's probably better that way.
Now that you are basically a full-time content creator, can you walk us like a day in the life?
Okay, so I wake up probably like 10, 11 a.m. I lay in bed. I probably doom scroll for like an hour. But I'd like to tell myself that I'm looking for opportunities on Twitter. Because every once in a while while I'm on Twitter, they're like, content creators, we have this opportunity. And I'm like, I can justify it now. And then I wake up, and then I come to my desk and I look at emails. And then I probably will play games for like an hour or two, just off stream, just whatever game I feel like. Recently I've been playing Minecraft again, because of course everyone has to go through their yearly 2-week Minecraft phase every year. I pet Rudi, who's sleeping in his little hammock on my desk right now. And then I'll get ready for stream. I will start stream probably like late afternoon, early evening. Stream for however many hours. Get ready for bed. However, if I do have to film stuff that day, like NZXT stuff, I'll usually film that before stream, so less bed rotting, unfortunately. Terrible, I know.
I love how different your college life was to now.
Yeah.
I think you're really just catching up on like the sleep from the years. You probably lost years of your life from that, so you're just
probably. Yeah, I think I really just like burnt myself out so bad with college that now I'm just like, I'm gonna just lay in bed and just chill. And maybe it's the fact that I turned 25 recently, but I'm like, oh, I'm really tired now. I'm getting old. So I'm like, oh, I gotta lay down.
And then actually we had a couple questions from people that are asking what, so if for people that wanting to get into, doing like tech coverage, like what you did with the keyboards or streaming or anything like that, do you have gear or skills that you would recommend to people for them to like get first, or if they don't even need it at all?
I think lighting is super important. Super important. Because if you have really good lighting, you can make an iPhone look really, really good. However, I still did not want to do that because literally as I was trying to film stuff for NZXT, I was like, yo, this looks bad. I was like, if I submit this to NZXT, I'm going to feel embarrassed personally. And so I literally went out and I spent an arm and a leg on a camera. Don't do that. Don't do what I did. Don't, because I could justify it in other ways. I was like, I can use it for streaming. I can use it for cosplay pictures. I can use it to film content for brands. Don't do that. Unless you're like in a position where you could like justify it like that, I would not recommend doing that. But I think that lighting, super important. I literally, when I first started streaming, I went on Amazon, spent like $30 on these random brand of key lights. Made such a difference in my streams. Because before I was literally streaming in the dark with like my light being my monitor, the light coming from my monitor. But I think lighting can make anything look better, whether it's your stream, whether it's content that you're filming. Just even if you're just posting on social media, lighting can make it so much better. And it's really not that expensive for like an okay light. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to spend $200 on lighting. You could literally buy lights on Amazon for $40, $20 even. And it makes a huge difference. I do think that if you're particularly leaning towards streaming though, a mic, make or break it. If you are using a headset mic, I'm begging you, please put it down, throw it away, literally throw it in the trash right now. Take the headset mic, get rid of it. You can get a decent like standalone mic for not that much money. My very first mic that I used for stream was a HyperX Solocast, which was I think like $50. And again, made such a difference because I did start streaming with a headset mic. And I look back on it, I'm like, oh my God, thank God my chat was like, yo, get a mic. Because it makes such a difference. And I really think that that's like the most important ones. Truly. I think that those can like make or break making content for sure. And they don't have to cost $1 billion. You can just get like decent ones. And it'd be fine.
You talked a little bit about that. So it was about burnout and dealing with either slow growth or like I have to go film something and dealing with it. How do you deal with burning out and risk of just basically imploding?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's still something that I like definitely struggle with, especially with streaming, because I think with streaming, since consistency is such a massive thing, it's always the, oh, I don't necessarily want to stream today, but if I don't stream today, then are they going to come back the next day? It's one of those kind of things because on other platforms, I don't think it's necessarily as important. But with streaming, I'm always so hard on myself about showing up. And I think I mentioned earlier, I would not recommend streaming every single day when you first start. Because even though you might see the growth of streaming every single day and you're going to feel motivated by the numbers, I think that burnout from streaming every single day it's kind of caught up to me now. And as much as I would like to stream every single day now, I feel like I can't bring myself to do it anymore. I feel like I just by day 5, I'm just like, oh, I feel just like I don't want to do it today. I don't feel like interacting with people. I'm an introvert. And so it might not seem like it with my job being streaming, but like in person, I'm such an introvert. And so I feel like my social battery is just like so dead of interacting with people day after day after day for hours on end. And so I think that taking time off from streaming it's important. And a lot of the time off that I've taken recently is not necessarily by choice. I've had my fair share of tech issues. I moved across the country. I can't necessarily like stream when I don't even have a desk in the new house. You know what I mean? But I think that it's important to take days off. And even if you don't want to take like a full day off, even if you just want to accomplish something in that day, even though it might not necessarily be, oh, I'm not going to stream today, so I'm just going to be doing nothing all day, which is fine. But if you still want to feel like you're doing something, then go apply for partnerships, go reach out to companies, go into other people's streams, make streamer friends. Maybe you can make more friends on Twitch. Maybe they'll come watch you one day. You know what I mean? Go work on something else. For me, it could be working on cosplays, even though I'm not streaming. So it's, am I stressed all the time? Yes. But I think that that's honestly for myself. Again, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but for myself, I think I'm just constantly in a state of stress that I'm just so used to it. And I think college kind of did that to me with my schedule in college. I was just so stressed at all times that I literally started having health issues, that I had to go to a doctor. And I was like, I initially went because I was so tired all the time. I could sleep for 10 hours a day and still in the middle of the day be like, oh, I need a nap, and nap for like 3 or 4 hours. Like I was so exhausted all the time. And I went to the doctor and I got blood work done, and they were like, yo, your vitamin D level crazy low. And I'm like, that's probably because I don't see the sun. Because I would go to class. I would sit in a classroom all day. I would come home. I'd go to work. I'd be indoors all day. I would come home, not sleep, stream in the middle of the night, and then when the sun is finally coming up in the morning, I'd go to sleep. So on top of everything else, my vitamin levels were crazy. So it really kind of made me take a step back from everything and go, okay, something's got to change. And that was like the turning point of me changing my stream schedule from streaming in the middle of the night. And as much as I was scared to do it, because I was like, I've grown my whole community at this time zone. The prescription for touching grass is so funny.
I saw that. I was like, that's pretty funny.
Literal prescription for touching grass. But it was so scary to switch my streaming schedule from the middle of the night to literally a 180 switch of streaming during the day, because I was like, oh my God, everybody that shows up to my stream all the time, they're at this time zone. I'm going to start streaming at this time zone. Nobody's going to show up. I've built my whole community and it's about to just go away. So I'm going to switch my time zones basically. And as scary as it was, I think that it was just something that it had to be done. And of course my analytics were like crazy for a little while, because everyone that watched me before was like, yo, where are you? But it's honestly, I like it so much better now streaming during the day, because I get to have a normal sleep schedule. Before, I feel like I would miss out on so many things from just sleeping all the time and having the craziest sleep schedule that I wouldn't be awake for a lot of things. And I think it's so much better. So if anybody, now I will say, I've had a lot of other streamers agree with me on this. Streaming in the middle of the night might be a cheat code. If you're willing to sacrifice your sanity and your health to get good analytics on Twitch, stream in the middle of the night. 1000% stream in the middle of the night. My analytics were insane, because when you start stream that late, a lot of other people are ending their stream. They're going to raid into you. And then when you're ending stream, a lot of the EU streamers are starting easy raids. You know what I mean? You make a lot of friends all across the world. However, then you're sacrificing your sleep schedule, your sanity. It's, if you're willing to do it, great. However, I will definitely say it with a warning that I personally, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It might seem like it momentarily, because you're like, wow, good numbers, amazing, I'm gonna get partnered, and then for what? It's not worth it.
So now I want to, you talked a little bit about it, and I talked about an intro, which has been one of my most exciting parts I want to point out is you are a cosplayer. So I want to show off people like your Millennia cosplay, because this is insane. Like, look how good, look at the details of the armor and everything like that. Like, this thing looks amazing. Like, let me see if I can.
Thank you.
Like, this thing's like, look at the armor on this. Like, it's so good. I can even hear her
I am
speak.
Millennia,
right?
Blade of Mikola. and I have never known defeat.
It looks so good. So I did want
Thank
to
you.
ask, like, how did you first get into cosplay?
I initially got into it and I was not expecting to get into it, but I had a friend of mine who, on a whim, she had lived in Florida and she was like, "Have you ever heard of this convention called Holiday Matsuri?" And I was like, "No, what is that?" And it's like a holiday themed convention in Orlando, Florida. And I was just kind of like going through the whole stress of college. I think I had like just withdrawn from college. And I was like, I need a break. Let me go to Florida, hang out with my friends. I'll see what this convention's all about. She's making it seem really fun. And I went down there and she was kind of like trying to get me to cosplay some stuff. And back then it was just like they call it closet cosplays, where you just kind of take stuff out of your closet that kind of like might resemble a character. And you do that. And it's a very, very easy form of cosplay. And I went and I had so much fun. It was amazing. And I had never been to like a real convention like that before, because before that I lived in Kentucky. I lived in the middle of nowhere. And I had been to a convention, but it was literally like I walked around the whole convention twice in the span of 20 minutes. Like it was so small. There was nothing there. So it was my first time experiencing like what a convention really is. And I was like, whoa, my mind is blown. And so I ended up going back the next year. And then I started finding conventions in other areas and meeting more friends and going to other conventions. And it just kind of transpired from there, because it went from, oh, I did these closet cosplays this year, I want to like order a cosplay. And then I met some more friends who made cosplays. I ran into this one guy the second year that I went to Holiday Matsuri, and a little did I know, because he was in like a very casual Spider-Man cosplay when I met him. But he came up to me while I was dressed as Hinata from Naruto, and he does little like photography stuff on the side. And he came up to me, he's like, "Hey, can I get a picture of your cosplay?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I had followed him on Instagram, whatever, to get the pictures later. I had no idea until I looked at his Instagram later. He was in the cosplay contest of Holiday Matsuri, which is a massive cosplay contest. I think now it is like part of the World Cosplay Summit, like massive. Like the top of the top is like competing in that competition. And that year he won an award for a Monster Hunter cosplay that he did. I don't know if anybody in chat is familiar with Monster Hunter stuff, but he did a whole like Rathalos armor set out of EVA foam. It was insane. But after seeing him and becoming kind of friends with him, I was like, should I start making some of my own stuff? That seems really cool, like really difficult, but like it seems really cool. And so I started experimenting with trying to make things, and I was like, yo, this is kind of hard. And then I found out what 3D printing was. And I had a friend of mine that got me into 3D printing, and I was like, yo, this is pretty cool. And I could like make cosplay props out of this. And like it kind of does a lot of the detailing for you. Granted, it's still like a ton of work sanding and like putting everything together, painting it. Like 3D printing is still not necessarily an easy method of making cosplay stuff, but I think it's a pretty accessible way to do it. Granted, you have to like learn the software, figure out how it works, like all that kind of stuff. But if you're me personally, I struggle with EVA foam. It's very difficult for me. It doesn't make any sense. So 3D printing is my weapon of choice. And I just started making cosplay props. I think my very first, actually, it might, oh my God, it's over here. I was in a Valorant phase. I started with Valorant weapons. My first one that I ever made was a Spectrum Classic from Valorant. Very, very small, like normal sized prop, I guess. But my favorite thing about it is that it moves.
Whoa.
It also, love it. But then I was like, I want to make bigger stuff. And then I, on a whim, I was like, I should make more stuff from Valorant. And hence my fade from Valorant cosplay. Mind you, what I'm about to show you is currently broken. But then I made the Neptune Vandal, which this part did fall off. I have to glue this back on. But I made the Neptune Vandal from Valorant. Although I don't play anymore, I love cosplaying Fade, one of my favorite characters to cosplay. I think she's awesome. And I love walking around with this because people love it because it's a fishy gun. Who doesn't want a fishy gun? And then personally, that just wasn't enough for me. So then I decided, why don't I just make armor? And there we are with Melania. And now I think I'm deep enough into it that I am actually competing in my very first cosplay competition tomorrow with Melania. And I hopefully it'll go well.
Best of luck. You got I mean, look at
Thank
this
you.
guy. It's like easily podium finish. No
I
doubt.
hope.
How
fingers crossed.
How long did it take to make all this?
Months.
Wow.
Months. Granted, I wasn't like working on it super consistently. It would be like, oh, I would print a piece. And first of all, 3D printing takes forever. Like I actually just had to reprint the sword. I had to remake the sword completely because, long story short, I took it to TwitchCon. Love Twitch sometimes. However, they broke my sword. Yeah, they broke my sword. They wouldn't let me in with it. I left it at bag check. I came back to get it to take pictures at the end of the day. I came back and it was snapped in half. And I was like, you're kidding. I don't know how it snapped in half because there's steel rods in it, by the way. Yeah, but they snapped my Melania sword in half. So I had to remake it. It took like 48 hours to reprint the sword in its entirety. And like that's just to print it. I still have to like put it together, sand it, paint it, like all of it. And making all of the armor. So I'm sure you can only imagine how long it would take to print the helmet, the arm, the sword, all together, probably like weeks.
Jeez.
I think the helmet alone was like close to 30 pieces. It was a lot. And it was a lot of pieces like not printing correctly, so then you have to print it again. It was such a pain. But honestly, I think it was worth it because that is like one of my coolest cosplays that I've ever made. And now I want to get into making more armor sets. So if anybody's played the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, hopefully eventually I will make Rilana's armor. Ooh. And I'll cosplay Rilana of the Twin Moons. Oh, she's so cool. Love her. But hopefully I'll do that one at some point. But months of like on and off working on it. I was like crunching before TwitchCon because that was where I first did Melania. And it was, oh my God, so stressful the last like 2 weeks of it because I was finishing everything, painting everything, so many breakdowns. You know, cosplay is such a fun hobby, but at the same time, it's one of those things that you do where like while you're doing it, you're like, oh my God, what a terrible, why did I pick this hobby? I hate it. I hate myself right now. Everything sucks. But then as soon as you get to the convention and the first person that stops you and you're like, oh my God, that looks so cool. I'm like, worth it. I forget all about all the pain and suffering that I just went through. I immediately am just like, thank you. Makes everything better.
I mean, you talked a little about it. What's something that like is someone that wants to get into cosplay? Like, what's something that you should like look out for, like going to these conventions and everything like that, or even making your cosplay?
I guess in terms of like getting cosplays, making cosplays, if you're gonna order it, there's a lot of like not great websites to order cosplays from. It would definitely like do your research on what websites you're ordering cosplays from. I've definitely ordered my fair share of cosplays from like AliExpress and they always sucked. Don't do that. Especially if you're like really on a budget, I guess you can, but like I wouldn't recommend it. They're probably going to come in something broken, not right, sized weird. Something's going to be wrong, almost guaranteed. But at conventions, somebody's not going to be wearing deodorant, unfortunately. That's just part of it. It happens every time. But I think conventions are a blast. If you guys have never been to one, they're amazing. Amazing artist alleys, amazing cosplayers. I've met so many amazing cosplayers, and most of them are always super, super nice. You go up to them, hey, can I get a picture? And they're super nice people. I will say that there's definitely a fair amount of people at conventions that are not always necessarily nice. And unfortunately, in my experience, it's a lot of like there is like a group of like influencer cosplayers, I feel like. And then there's like what I honestly call like the clout chaser cosplayers who only want to talk to you if you like have a certain amount of followers. Like I literally I was at MomoCon a couple years ago, which is in Atlanta, and I was there kind of late at night because there's always like the after con stuff that's going on where you just kind of like meet a bunch of people. And I remember this guy literally was talking to me and asked, I was like talking to like one of his friends, and he asked for my Instagram. And I remember he pulled up my Instagram, was like, cool. And then just locked his phone. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought we were gonna like be friends. Ooh, I think he literally pulled up my Instagram and was like, anyways. I was like, oh, okay, that's tough.
That's gross.
Yeah,
that's
I was
gross.
like, oh, I mean, mind you, I found his Instagram later and I was like, you were doing that to me? That's crazy. I was like, that's tough, but
I'm not surprised.
There's gonna be that group of people at conventions, which is always kind of unfortunate. But I think that most people are there to just have a lot of fun, and most people are always super, super, super nice. Highly recommend. Conventions are a fantastic time, but just make sure you don't get scammed if you're buying a cosplay off of a sketchy website.
I know we talked a little bit about what to look out for, but do you have like your favorite memory at a convention?
I think it was probably TwitchCon wearing Melania. I've met so many amazing streamer friends through literally just wearing Melania. And there have been people that have come into my chat not knowing who I was at all. And then just on a whim, I happen to be talking about cosplaying at TwitchCon when they come in. And they're like, you were that Melania at TwitchCon? And I was like, yeah, I was. Did you see me? They're like, I saw you going up the escalator. And I'm like, that is so cool to me that people will just randomly come find me. And then they'll recognize me from a cosplay that I did. Or they will, I went to like the Valorant meetup at TwitchCon, even though I don't really play, but I was cosplaying Fate at TwitchCon. And I went to the meetup and I got to meet so many people because they were like, yo, that's a sick cosplay. And honestly, it kind of helps me, again, because I'm introverted. I'm always too nervous to go up and talk to people at conventions and stuff and like try to make friends with them. But I think that cosplaying really helps me because if I have a really cool cosplay on, then they come up and talk to me first. And then I can make friends. I can't start a conversation, but I can continue one. So it kind of helps me get over that hurdle of like making friends at conventions because hopefully they'll come up to me first. Because I'm way too scared to go talk to people. So it helps a lot.
Do you have like the dream cosplay or project that you want to do, but you haven't gotten to, or you just don't think you can do it?
I don't honestly, just armor stuff. I want to work more with like EVA foam. And I want to learn how to do that more. I think that I'm kind of finding a niche almost in making armor cosplays. Even though Melania was the only one that I've done, I'm about to cosplay the Revenant from Elden Ring Night Reign at TwitchCon this year, who doesn't have any armor, but she has a lot of these like medallion things that she wears, and she has a harp. And I love making stuff that isn't, I feel like when you're cosplaying things from either like an anime or a more like cartoony game, I always feel this pressure of like making everything absolutely seamless and perfect because that's how it looks in the show or the game or whatever. But if it's like armor or something a little bit more realistic, I feel like I can be easier on myself, especially with weathering props. That is like my favorite thing to do, is to weather them with paint and make them look like scuffed up and like real. So I think that I'll definitely be making more armor stuff in the future and hopefully making bigger armor projects. Because right now Melania is like obviously the helmet and the arm and like the leg armor, but like I want to do like both arms, full legs, chest armor. Like I want to do the whole thing, but obviously that's gonna take forever.
That's gonna take some time. I can't imagine a full armor set coming out of a 3D printer or doing EV. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine that.
Yeah, it would take a long time, but they always look really cool. So it's worth it.
It is worth it. Oh, yes. So we actually had a lot of people asking for advice with working with brands. So we're gonna kind of dive into your experience with like you literally just said a couple like 20-30 minutes ago you worked with Logitech for a bit. So first we want to talk about, oh yes, you are an Ubisoft partner, which is really cool. And you tried out Assassin's Creed Shadows. So like, how did becoming a partner come around?
Honestly, I didn't even know that it was really a thing. I feel like I was kind of really behind with like the whole working with brands aspect of streaming. I still feel like I'm kind of behind with it. But I feel like a lot of my streamer friends that I was making back when I first started, when they started seeing the same kind of growth, I feel like I always saw them working with so many brands. I'm like, how are they getting these opportunities? First of all, I was not on Twitter or X. I'm still going to call it Twitter till the day I die.
I call it Twitter. Tweets.
Yeah,
I'm not calling it
Twitter. But as much as I hate the app, it's where a lot of opportunities are, to be honest. That's honestly how I kind of got involved with you guys. I initially I saw that you guys had your headquarters meeting thing, and I found it on Twitter. I would have never found it if I wasn't on Twitter, and I applied for it, got it, came and met you guys. It was great. And I was just talking with some other streamers when it comes to like company, especially like gaming company partnerships. There's the Ubisoft. I know that like EA has a creator network. A bunch of bigger games have creator networks. So even if you're not playing necessarily the same type of games that I am, if you're a Fortnite streamer, whatever, like they all have creator programs for the most part, unless you're playing some like really niche indie game or something. But a lot of companies will have some sort of partner program. And honestly, you just have to Google it. Like a lot of the first stuff that I found, I literally just Googled whatever company I liked, partner program. Saw what come up. If something comes up, cool. If not, move on to the next one. And you just apply for them. But I think something that has really helped me is finding the media managers of companies on whatever websites and getting in contact with them directly. Because even though you might submit an application through their partner website, whatever, it's always going to be better if you can reach out to the, it's just kind of like any other job where if you could directly reach out to the hiring manager, you're going to stand out a little bit from everybody else, you know? So I think that that's something that's super helpful. And honestly, it kind of worked out when I was working with you guys, because although I got into the thing to come to your guys' headquarters, I wasn't able to go the first time. But I think it kind of worked out because in between the first event and the second event that I did go to, I got to meet Rudi, who was at DreamHack Dallas. And I think because I was able to meet Rudi before I went to the event, I think that was honestly a good thing, because I was so sad about not getting to go to the first event. But then getting to meet Rudi, I think made such a difference. And now I'm working with you guys. So getting to meet the media managers of companies, I feel like can make such a difference. But just finding opportunities is honestly, sometimes you just have to look for them. Just literally go out of your way to just search opportunities for companies and apply for them. That was another thing where it was really hard for me to do that initially, because I was like, oh, I'm a small streamer, I don't want to apply, they're just going to reject me. But then I saw another streamer say something like, oh, well, you already don't have a sponsorship. What are you going to have if they say no? Not a sponsorship. You already don't have it. So you're not losing anything by applying for it. Like the worst they're going to say is no. And while the no does kind of hurt sometimes, it makes such a difference. And yeah, Clever also said a media kit. I did not want to make a media kit for so long because I was always comparing myself to other people. And I would always say, oh, I don't want to put my numbers on a media kit because they might not be as good as the next person. But having a media kit is so much better for if say some media influencer manager of a company goes to your page, what are they going to want to see? Your analytics. And then they can immediately get an idea of what you do, how many followers you have, your interactions, whatever. And then they can go from there if they want to work with you or not. But if they have to search for it, they're immediately going to almost kind of get a little turned off and be like, oh, I have to search for it. This is a lot of work to work with this person. So that also makes a huge difference. I will say that I see a lot of people just starting streaming. There are the companies like Stream Elements, Streamlabs, who offer a lot of sponsorship opportunities. And my advice to you guys, a lot of them, don't take them, because a lot of them are like, oh, the Raid Shadow Legend sponsorship, we'll pay you $20 up front, but then we'll give you $5 for every person you get to sign up and spend their life savings on this game. And it's not worth it. It might seem great. I'm sure people can make money from it. But in my own experience, I feel like it's just, the money's not that great unless you're just really like pushing your chat to go sign up for it, which is not a great look. I personally can't find myself to be like a salesperson, to be like, guys, you should go sign up for this game that I really don't care about. It's hard. So a lot of those types of sponsorships, I think, are definitely red flags. They don't like to pay creators for the work that they're doing, really. It's more of an affiliate thing, to be honest. And I think that that's something that a lot of companies will try to like push under the rug, where they'll be like, yeah, we'll partner with you, but we're only paying you if you get somebody to come buy our products. And then it's like, well, what am I doing then? You know? So I think that that's definitely something to be wary of if you're starting streaming. There's going to be a lot of those opportunities that you might see initially and be like, yo, I can get paid for streaming, but it's really not what it seems. So just kind of be wary of that. But I won't say that all of them are bad, because I'm not going to lie, I literally got to work with Logitech through Streamlabs. So they're not all bad. Just be careful. Be careful of them. Sometimes they can be good, but a lot of times they're not. So.
And then like, what parts of like a brand partnership is like most important to you? You know, there's people that will care about like, you know, getting products, or, you know, having creative freedom on what they can do. Like, what's the most important for you and for others should really keep an eye out for?
For me personally, I think that it's if I personally like the company or the products that they're putting out. You will never see me working with a company that I don't like. Even if they come to me and they're like, I'll pay you $10,000. I'm gonna be like, your brand kind of sucks though. And I think, granted, does every creator have their limit? Yes, you will always see a creator sell out. But I think that that's definitely what's important to me, is if I like the company, because it's going to be exponentially harder for me to sell a product to my audience if I don't like it. Because I think that they can see that. I always feel like my chat and my audience can always tell when I'm not like fully behind something, even if it's just me playing the game. If I'm not like having fun with the game, my chat can tell 1000%. And they're not going to want to watch it, because they want to watch somebody who's excited about the game that they're playing. And if I'm not having fun, they're not having fun. So I think that that's the most important. But I think as you kind of get more and more into it, there's more things that come into play, because then it's, when you're getting bigger deals, it's going to be, do you want them to have rights to whatever you're creating for them for X amount of time? Do you want to get paid for that? You have to be able to also negotiate these things. Don't always just take whatever a brand comes at you with and be like, sounds great. Ask for something different. You can ask. And I honestly, that was also another thing that was kind of hard for me initially, was asking for things from brands, because in my mind, if I were to ask for something and they were to tell me no, then in my mind, I'm going to be like, oh my God, they hate me. And they're just going to be like, scrap the whole thing. We don't want to work with you anymore. You asked to get paid? throw it out the window. We hate this creator. But that's not the case. If they're reaching out to you to work with you, they want to work with you. But it's a scary thing to ask to get paid. And not every form of payment from a company might look like dollars in your bank account. Some payment from companies could be, hey, we're giving you this product, and that's it. And that's up to you to decide if that's something that you want to do or not. A lot of games or a lot of companies in the industry they won't necessarily pay you. I'm not saying that people don't get paid to play games. That definitely happens. But a lot of times it's just, hey, we're going to give you this key. If you want to play it on stream, cool. If not, whatever. And it might sound cool to get just free games, and it is, don't get me wrong. But also a lot of these like free game keys, they come with restrictions, or they come with, you have to do X, Y, and Z if you're going to accept the game key type of thing. So yeah, reviewing contracts, very important. Get somebody who, if you're going to get a contract and you're not 100% sure about it, get somebody to read it. Even if it's just like a friend or just somebody else. I think it's important to just have other eyes on a contract that aren't yours. Because especially if it's something that you're really, really excited about, you might be like, hey, this sounds great. But there's going to be like a clause in the contract that's like, we are entitled to your firstborn child. You're going to be like, but I like the company, so it's fine. And you might be kind of like blinded by your excitement of working with a cool company. But if it's not a good contract, then like, don't do it, obviously. But I think that that's also super, super, super important. Just read your contracts, but also just be brave, which is scary, and reach out to companies to ask for things. Again, the worst that they can say is no. No company is ever going to look at you and be like, well, we kind of think that you're the worst creator ever, and you should probably just stop and give up. No company is going to ever say that to you. Literally, the worst they're going to say is, hey, we just, we don't either have it in the budget right now. We're not looking for anything. Our partnerships are closed at the moment. Your analytics aren't where we want them to be. We'll hopefully work with you again in the future. That's literally, I'm telling you right now, that's the worst it's going to be. And if they give you something worse than that, you don't want to work with them anyways. Yeah. That's a scary company. But like, that's all it's going to be. And if you can accept the fact that that's what you're going to hear back if it's a no, then you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just ask for things. And I'm not saying go to a company and be like, can I get a PC? I'm looking at NZXT's comments right now.
I like
can I get a PC?
Every day.
Yeah. Everybody's like deleting my message.
That's actually a really good point, is that as someone that like worked with a lot of partners and influencers, if you get a response back, you're on their radar. If you don't get one, hey, that happens. You know, there's a lot of people, a lot of companies, like, you know, if you're asking like, you know, Apple or you know, like these huge, you may not get a response back. But if you get a response back from a company, just know you are on their radar, because they don't have to do that. They could just go delete. But if they go, oh yeah, you know, hey, we're gonna look, we're not gonna do this right now, they'll have you on like a list of like, hey, you know, if we need to do something, you know, down the road with a PC creator, we'll have them on this list. Or like, oh, they are a streamer, let's have them on this list. They have. So that's the thing. Yeah.
And you may get a no a couple of times before you get a yes. Like I worked with Logitech 2 days ago, even yesterday. I've applied to work with Logitech. It would probably take me 2 hands to count on it. I've applied to their partnership program so many times. In the 3 years that I've been streaming, so many times. I have literally never heard a peep, not even a, hey, we got your response, no. I get like a confirmation email, maybe, that they received my application. But it was that one time that I was like, let me apply for this. And then I worked with them. So it's just, you just have to keep trying for it. And that's what matters.
Brendan actually has a good question. How long do you think someone should wait to try again with a company? Like a year or anything like that? Is there a time frame that you specifically look for?
that there's a specific time frame that I necessarily look for. I think it's important to also think about the company as well as yourself, because I would wait a little bit to, if you don't hear anything back, maybe work on your analytics, try to get your analytics better, and then you can come back to them with something better than before. But also think about the fact that like these brands have quarters that, hey, it's not in the budget for this quarter, apply again quarter 2, quarter 3 of the year. Maybe they'll have it in the budget then to work with you. Or I believe that a lot of companies, I know that Clever in chat is from my community. He works with a lot of companies doing contract work. He can probably attest to this more than I can, but I believe that a lot of companies look for creators at the start of the new year. So towards the end of the year, beginning of the new year, be working on your stuff, pitching yourself to companies, because that's when they're looking for people to work with, because it's the brand new year. They're like, let's get a head start on everything. And you want to be upfront in their face. Hey, I'm ready to work with you guys. Here's what I have to offer. I think that also having a good pitch for a company is something that's also important. For the longest time, I had no idea how to email a company. I had no idea. I was emailing companies and I'd send it to my friend and she's like, what are you doing? And honestly, that very first, what are you doing? When I sent it to my friend and like received criticism about how I was emailing companies, it hurt. Because I was like, oh my God, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. But now I do know what I'm doing and it's better. So again, having like some sort of peer review of somebody who might know a little bit more of what they're doing is super, super nice. But having a good pitch is really important. Going to a company, and you could even just like Google like a brand pitch for an influencer and just like, I wouldn't say copy and paste it, but like tweak it to what you need. Of basically you just want to go, hey, my name is so-and-so. I would love to work with you guys doing XYZ. Always give some sort of X, Y, and Z of what you would like to work with them on. You could just go to a company and be like, hey, I'd love to work with you guys. But if there's something specific that you would like to work with them on, they're going to be like, oh, let me keep you in mind for this exact thing, which is going to sound better. And then I would even give some sort of, this is what I do. So like, I'd love to work with you guys on this. Here's an example of what I do. And you could say I was applying for some other tech sponsorship and I was like, hey, I'd love to work with you guys on this new release. This is what I did for NZXT. Would you guys like to possibly work together? And it's going to sound way better than like, hey, I want to work with you guys. Just, you got to be specific and you got to get to the point. Don't drag it out for super long. Cause I used to do that. And then my friend was like, dude, they don't care. They're not going to read all that. They're going to open that email and be like, oh God, why'd they send me a novel? They're not reading that.
Do you have before we get into the rapid fire questions, do you have a dream collab that you would love to happen and you could speak into existence, you know?
I really want to work with companies doing more cosplay stuff. Because I already work with companies doing like the game promotion stuff on Twitch. But I would love to, a lot of companies will have booths at conventions where people can go and they can play the game in person to promote an upcoming release. And this can be at any convention. That could happen at PAX, it can happen at TwitchCon, whatever. And I would, every once in a while, they'll have cosplayers at the booth to promote the game. They even had this at the Capcom booth at TwitchCon this past year, I believe. They were promoting Monster Hunter Wilds. They had a couple of Monster Hunter cosplayers at the booth. And I was like, oh, I want to do that one day. So I would love to be able to cosplay for a company. I would love, if a company ever reached out to me and was like, hey, we would love for you to cosplay for our game. Here's the character. If you could make a cosplay for it, I would literally like fall over dead. I would be like, oh my God, I would lose my mind. That would be the coolest thing ever. I feel like that would be like my I made it moment. If I'm getting paid to go to a convention and promote something with my cosplays, ooh, yeah, give us a cosplay build challenge. That would be so sick. I've even reached out to brands and been like, hey, I would love to make something from your game to promote your upcoming release. You're releasing this game. Let me make a weapon from the game and show that process to promote the game.
That's pretty cool.
Right? Wouldn't you be like, hey, Elden Ring Night Rain, she's making this sword from Elden Ring to promote the game. That'd be kind of cool, right?
That's actually
So
really
maybe
smart.
one day, right?
That's actually really
So
good.
maybe one day we'll get there. Gotta win a cosplay contest first. Then we'll see.
Well, that's coming soon. I bet.
Yeah, coming
It's
soon.
it's on its way. I can see it.
Fingers crossed.
Alrighty, so we're gonna go into my favorite section, which is rapid fire, because I get to ask the most random questions. I'll ease in with the easy ones in the beginning.
Okay.
And then we'll get some weird would you rather questions.
Okay.
So just get ready for that. And then we'll go ahead and give the code word for those that are waiting for that code word.
Okay.
All right, so for the first one, well, like I said, we're easing in. We're gonna make it easy. I see that you're a big reader, so what's been the best book you've read this year so far?
I had all time ready to go, and then you said this year, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know. Oh my god, I'm suddenly forgetting like every single book that I've read this year. I just finished a duology called the Crimson Moth duology. Where did I put it? I just moved it. I have no idea where I put it on my shelves. But that was fantastic. Love that series. It was great. Very quick, easy read. Currently reading a book called Phantasma. I'm like 90% done with that. I'm a very big fantasy person.
Same.
Fantasy, I eat it up. Eat it up. So all of this, fantasy, except for this. This is like manga right here. But that's like my one manga shelf.
And I guess since you know the question, what is the best book you've ever read then? Oh, she even has it.
I have two of them. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I have this and the special edition because I love it so much. This is a duology. It's called the Shepherd King duology. I will never shut up about this. If you ever come in my stream and want to talk about books, I'm going to tell you this one every single time. Every time, without a doubt. I will read a grocery list by this woman. I love her so much. I adore her.
Give us a quick like spiel on it.
So basically there's, if you guys have ever heard of like this, I think it's a Stephen King, The Mist.
Oh yeah.
Imagine a world like that, but like gothic fantasy. There's basically a mist that's like surrounding the town. It's like a curse that was put on them. And there's this super unique magic system that's based on tarot cards, which is super, super cool. The main character has like a voice trapped in her head. Turns out it's one of the cards. She has like this, if you get cursed by the mist, you're basically sick. They're going to kill you. They don't like it. But she is like hiding the fact that she's cursed because she has the voice in her head. And basically they have to go on like this journey to collect all the tarot cards to release this curse upon their town, their village, their city. But she's like dealing with this voice in her head like the whole time. Amazing. Love it. Incredible. I feel like I didn't sell it very well. Read it. I'm begging. If you have one book that you're going to read this year, every time, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about that book.
I love fantasy books. I added it to my Amazon cart too, so I'm with you on
so
that.
Good. It's so good.
If anyone wants to start getting into reading, I highly recommend fantasy, but you have to find a fantasy book that has like a cool magic system. That changes your life. I got into Mistborn. Coolest thing.
It's right there.
It's so good. If anyone has a chance to, Mistborn's also amazing. Cool magic system. Brandon Sanderson's amazing. So
yeah.
And I guess a question for those that, because we have a lot of gamers in the thing, how do you balance reading and gaming and like trying to, because read takes a while,
It does. And honestly, I don't read as much as I wish I could because obviously I have like a billion books on my shelves. A lot of these are gifts from my viewers. I have a wish list and literally I always fill it with books. I'm running out of room on my shelves at this point because everyone just sends me books and I love it. But I don't get to go through them as fast as I would like. And so I always read before bed. Literally what I do to like wind down for the night, I used to just doom scroll on TikTok all the time. But then I was like, first of all, reading can get through my books. Second of all, I think it winds you down for sleep so much better, obviously, than doom scrolling on TikTok. I have a Kindle, which makes it a billion times better because obviously just like reading at night, you would need some sort of light. But I was so graciously gifted a Kindle by my community, and it has helped. It has literally like changed my game of reading so much. Or luckily at my old job that I was working in Kentucky when I was bartending, any downtime that I would have at work, I had the Kindle app on my phone. I would just read on my phone at work because I would get bored at work and I'm like, why do I want to doom scroll? So I would sit there and I would read while I was at work. It was great.
Moth Cat in the chat has, I think, an amazing upcoming stream for you. Is a co-reading stream. Everyone reads quietly together with some music. I think that would be pretty fun.
I think that people do that. I think there's like a co-working category on Twitch. I've honestly never done a co-working stream. I know that Clever in chat has. He probably knows more about them than I do, but that it's a thing on Twitch. It's the I think the genre is called co-working. I don't know if there's like a hyphen. Yeah, co-working and studying is the category on Twitch, and people literally just sit there and play lo-fi music, and everyone just sits there and gets their work done together. It's like an accountability thing.
Wow, I like
everyone
that.
Sits there. Yeah, there's like a timer that will usually happen of like, we're going to work for this long. And then when the timer's done, then we're all going to sit and we're going to chat for a little bit and then chat for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then we go back to working. And it's great.
I like that. I'm adding that onto my list too. I got too many things. I got 2 things I just added right now. That's sick.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's see. Oh, favorite game that you're playing right now?
As much as it hurts, Hollow Knight Silksong.
So
Hollow Knight Silksong. Oh my god, that game is abusive. It's mean. I thought I was good at Hollow Knight. They just spit in my face.
But that's how you keep. That's how to keep you going.
But I like it.
Yeah, I know.
It's such a good game.
I have a friend. Oh god, that I was listening to him on Discord the other day, and I forgot which boss he was trying to fight. He was trying to fight one of them, and I literally would just hear it would be quiet. Then damn it. Then like another couple minutes go by, and then eventually, like after like 2 hours, he's like, I'm going to bed, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I am having like generational crash outs playing that game. Unreal crash outs. Like I was crashing out at Elden Ring. I think that Silksong is bringing out like a different beast in me, and I don't think I like it.
more than Sekiro too.
Maybe. If I'm being honest, I don't think I remember a whole lot of my Sekiro playthrough. I think that I think there was like a small handful of bosses that like I was struggling with in Sekiro, but I feel like Sekiro was more like while it was like a skill check kind of game, there wasn't anything like stupid about it. It was quite literally just either you get good or you're not doing it. But I feel like a lot of the things in Silksong, while I love the game, I love Team Cherry, I don't love some of the things that they did with the game. A lot of it just feels unfair in some ways. And a lot of like they're called gauntlets in the game, where if it'll be a room, but instead of a boss, it's just like waves of enemies. A lot of them will have like hazards on the sides of it where normally it'll be like a gate that'll come down. You'll be locked in the room, but some of them have hazards where like if you hit it, you'll take damage. But to balance the fact that you heal for like 3 hearts at a time in Silksong, I think that they made a lot of things in the game do double damage. And so, but they also made a lot of the enemies do double damage as well. So you start with 5 hearts. And if you get hit by the boss, and by getting hit by the boss, you then kind of like fall into the hazard on the side or like hit the side because you like bounce from getting hit. You have 4 hearts gone like that. You're at 1. And you're sitting there, you're like, it's been 0.3 seconds and I just lost 90% of my health. What is that? And it's, yeah, it's tough.
But you keep going back to it. It keeps coming.
I know. What's wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Yeah.
Do you have a game of other than Silksong that you're most excited to stream next?
A lot of my community's been asking me to play The Witcher 3.
Oh,
I've never played The Witcher before. Because I didn't grow up with anything other than like a GameCube and a Wii. There's so many games and series that I missed out on for so long because I didn't know about them. So I've never been into The Witcher. I don't know anything about the Witcher series. And then I remember seeing that The Witcher 4 got announced, and everyone was like, well, you have to play The Witcher 3 now. So I will definitely be playing that at some point. I don't know when though, but that's also going to be another game that I could probably do some pretty easy cosplays for on stream while playing the game. So maybe we'll do some Witcher stuffs.
I think you played Cyberpunk, right?
I did recently.
Yeah.
I did.
Same
I
company.
did cosplay.
You'll love it.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest though. I know this is like such a hot take. I didn't love Cyberpunk. Like it was okay. It was okay. I know this is like an insanely hot take, but I'm not gonna lie. I think part of it is with streaming, I have a really hard time like paying attention to cutscenes and dialogue because I'm usually interacting with chat when I'm not like in the action of the game. And so I feel like it's really hard for me to get like immersed in a story. And I feel like some of the characters in Cyberpunk just kept talking and talking and talking. There was a cutscene with somebody that I'm not even kidding. If I didn't skip through it, that cutscene must have been like 15 minutes long. Because every time I would like skip through dialogue, there was more. And I'm like, how are you still? I haven't said anything. You're going on the craziest monologue of all time. And so every time that there was like a cutscene like that, I'm just like, oh my God, can you shut up, please? Let me just go beat something up. That's what I'm here for. But at the same time, there's Expedition 33, which at that point, playing that game, normally I wouldn't care about cutscenes. But during those cutscenes, I was like, guys, shut up, chat, shut up. I'm busy, I'm watching the cutscene. Expedition 33, if it doesn't win Game of the Year, it's rigged.
Or Silksong? Do you think Silksong will win, or do you think?
I don't know. I gotta be honest. I think that Expedition 33 is still better. Maybe I just have too many qualms with Silksong. I think Expedition 33 was like game of the century quality. Yeah, like if I think of games of like the 2000s and beyond so far, Expedition 33 is 1000% like up there for me of like first games that I'm thinking of that are like the best games that I've experienced in this whole time. For sure, without a doubt. That game destroyed me. I'm sad that I don't have the VOD on my channel anymore because when I finished that game, I was sobbing. Unbelievably sobbing for like 2 hours. I've never had a game make me feel like a bad person. That was a first.
That's good. Let's see. Oh, what's the most surprising thing you've learned about your community?
I don't know if it's something that I've learned necessarily, but I love seeing that a lot of my community interacts with each other. I love seeing friendships form from a community that I've built. I've literally had 2 people in chat right now, Big Mike and Clever. They've met each other in person because they met through my stream. And I'm like, that's so wholesome to me that I'm making a community where people feel comfortable enough to make friends with other people and go hang out with them. And I love that so very much. I guess something that I did learn, I just thought of this. My chat is willing to be part of a cult. It's not a cult though, I swear. It's totally not a cult. And Rui is not our leader. It's not a cult, I swear.
That's what people in a cult say, that it's not.
But it's not a cult, I swear. It's not a cult.
1000%. A little suspicious on that one. A little suspicious.
Listen, as long as you bow down to our Lord and Savior Rui, who just left the room, as long as you worship him as our Elden Lord, you're allowed to stay.
I can join on that. Yeah,
he's just amazing. He needs to be worshipped. He's a good boy.
And I think this is a fun one since you have a lot of your community here. What is one word you would describe your community? One word.
I don't know what I would say.
They're listening too, so you got pressure.
I know they're listening. I feel like Gremlins is a good one. gremlins were cooked. Yeah. I'm like, what can I say that you know I did call my chat NPCs one time.
Ooh. Ooh.
Because sometimes they just say and they do things. I'm just like, there's no way you guys are real people. You guys have to be NPCs.
I like it. I like it. You hear
but at
that?
the same time, they're like, you think we're not real? And I'm like, sometimes you do questionable things. At least I'm a side character. Yeah, there could be side characters.
There you go.
But sometimes they are doing very NPC behavior. We're all paid chatter.
I think the truth is coming out on this podcast. Uh-oh.
It's not a cult, I swear.
All right, we got a couple more. This is one of my favorite questions to ask because I always it kind of shows a lot about the person. What would your last meal be?
Ooh. I'm not gonna lie. I love French fries. And you might go, French fries aren't a meal. I could die very happily eating French fries.
Which French fry? Which one?
Any of them. Except In-N-Out French fries. In-N-Out French fries are kind of booty cheeks.
Well, they're real potato, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but they're boring potatoes. They could have made them better.
True.
They could make them better real potatoes. But I love French fries so much. They're like a comfort food to me. I love them. I love them so much. But you can also like make them better. You can like add stuff on top of them. I recently had asada fries. Oh, I'm still thinking about them. About them. They're so good. Incredible. Yeah, a little pepper goes a long way. In-N-Out, write that down, please. I'm begging.
Actually, is I have a lot of like, questions about like would you rather whatever. One of them actually involves French fries, so now I'm actually curious. So you have two choices. You could get $2 for every French fry you eat, like per day, or you get $1 for every push-up or body squat you do a day.
I would take the French fries, dude. I can't do a push-up. Are you kidding me? I would be broke and sad if I was doing the push-ups. I would be rich and so happy if I was eating French fries all day.
How many do you think you can eat in like a day? Okay, your monthly, like, your every fry is $2. So how many do you think?
If I'm making $2 per fry, I think I can afford a personal trainer to like counteract all the French fries that I'm eating. I'd probably be racking in at least like 5 digits a month.
Dang.
And like easily too. Like I think I could $2 per fry.
$2 per fry. I mean, how many would be in like a small fry?
I could crush like 2 large fries easy. If that's all I'm eating, I might be malnourished, but I'll be happy.
It says around 30 to 40 in a small fry.
In a small?
30 to 40. So that's what, 60 to honestly, that's not bad actually.
I'm gonna be the next Bezos of the world if that's the case. I'm gonna be so rich.
Another one is, would you rather for every word you write, you make $10, or every word you speak is $1?
Am I like handwriting it or am I typing it?
I would say in this scenario, you can do either.
I think I would take the writing. I think because while I do speak a lot, I think you can do it faster. I've done my fair share of longer streams where I'm talking the whole time. I will lose my voice consistently. I've done 24-hour streams, 12-hour streams where I will quite literally lose my voice. I did a 24-hour stream while I was playing Expedition 33. The last like 4 hours of stream, I was struggling because my voice was like gone. So I think you could get it done faster, but also I wouldn't be in pain, and low-key, I'd probably make more money.
Okay.
I think if I'm writing or typing it, I think I could do it for
Okay.
sure.
And then for the final one, I love this one,
Okay.
is what's one random fact about yourself that your audience does not
I think some of them might know it, but I did competition archery for like 3 years when I was in school. I am a world ranked archer. 3 years in a row.
ranked?
World ranked. I went to worlds for archery 3 times. Yes. I was I think I was like 11.
Were you using
Yeah,
like a regular bow, or is it like those cool compound ones?
It was a compound bow.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Competition archery was at least it was through a company called NASP. NASP. It was like National Archery in the Schools program. It was compound bows. And I started when I was in 5th grade. So I was like 10, 11, and I think by the time that I went to Worlds for the first time, I was 11, and I did it 5th grade, 6th grade, and 7th grade, and I went to Worlds every single year with my team.
That's sick.
Yeah.
It's like may have called you out a little bit. You aim professionally, but in Valorant,
it's different. It's different. It's so different. Dude, I can't aim in Valorant to save my life. I can't aim in any game to save my life. If I'm playing a game like that, I'm playing support. I played Initiator in Valorant because I was like, yo, I'll tell you guys where they are. You guys go get them. That's your job, not mine. I'm not playing Duelist in that game. Oh, no. You want me to entry? Ooh, no thanks. If I'm playing like Marvel Rivals Overwatch, I'm playing support. Y'all got it. Just know you guys can count on me to stay alive, but as far as kills, that's on you guys. That y'all got it. I'll heal y'all great. But aiming not the good part. That's real life aiming. I got it. In game aiming, absolutely not. Take me off the roster. Absolutely not. No.
Alrighty, so that leads up all the rapid fire questions. Before we get into the fun stuff and some of your announcements, I'm just gonna get through a couple of these real quick. So first off, as you can see in chat, there is Harbor Quest saying that you claim Poochie points. Our NZXT Intel Club, thank you Intel for helping us basically give you guys a ton of free stuff. We're giving away shirts, plushies, as you see right here and behind Olivia, gift cards, and the biggest prize of them all, I hear it all the time, free PC. We are giving away free PCs every month because of Intel. So special thanks to Intel. So you guys go to nzxt.co/club or !club in chat. You guys sign up and then join the community, and you can earn Poochie points. This guy right here. You basically, it's just participating in our community, our socials, joining us on live streams with our influencers. The more points you earn, the more entries you get into the giveaway. So if you want to get more chances to win a PC and other free stuff that we give away every month, start now. Literally start now, because the sooner you start, the more points you earn, which means more entries into the giveaway. So please, nzxt.co/club or !club in chat. Right there is that link, and you guys can win a free PC or stuff. That is it for my announcement. So first, I want to give you a chance to explain anything that you have going on. I heard that you're going to a convention soon. So any new exciting projects or things that are coming up for you that you want to tell your audience or our audience?
I will be competing in my very first cosplay competition tomorrow. So if you guys want to keep up with updates on that, I will definitely be posting on my socials about it, over on Instagram and over on Twitter, about how it goes. We're probably going to be taking some awesome pictures and videos of Melania tomorrow, because unfortunately I didn't really get to get any good pictures at TwitchCon because the sword was broken. Sad, rest in peace, sword. But this time we'll be able to get some really cool pictures with the sword. So I have that going on tomorrow. But I'm live over on my channel on Twitch almost every day. Not every single day, because that's how burnout happens. But almost every day in the evening, PST, just playing a variety of games. Right now I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, trying to get to the DLC. There's also drops in the Assassin's Creed category as well. So if you guys want to get some cool drops for the game, that is where you can get them. I'm also playing through Hollow Knight Silksong as well. So if you guys want to see some generational crash outs, I will be trying to not put a controller size hole in my wall playing that. Trying to is the key word. But yeah, I will also be at TwitchCon this year. If anybody in chat is attending TwitchCon, if you see the Revenant from Elden Ring Night Rain walking around, that is me. Come say hi. I also hopefully will be doing a second cosplay at conventions because I like to do 2. But I'm not sure what my second one is going to be this year. I was hoping to do CL from Expedition 33, but I think that we're getting a little close. Maybe I'll save that one for another time. I don't know if I feel like grinding that one out last minute, but maybe I'll do another one at TwitchCon this year. We'll see. Maybe I'll bring back Melania at TwitchCon. Ooh. Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, no, go for it.
Oh, that was kind of it.
Yeah. Oh,
that's kind of it.
I guess. Do you have any final thoughts or messages before I go ahead and share the code to the peeps?
I think that if you guys are wanting to start streaming, just do it. Be outgoing when it comes to streaming. Try to make content that you would like to watch, because if it's not something that you would like to watch, maybe somebody else isn't going to want to watch it either. So try to make content that you enjoy, be consistent with it, and have fun. If you're going to start doing it, don't look at it like a job, because then you're going to hate it. Have fun with it. That's the best advice I feel like I can give. Just have fun and just do it.
Love it. All right, guys. So as we're doing this podcast, we are giving away a Poochie plush, a shirt, and a sticker pack. All NZXT stuff because of Olivia joining us today. So first off, please follow her. I just posted the beacons that she has, so please follow her on all of her socials. Obviously in the Gleam you'll also be following her as well, but she's got some pretty cool stuff coming up, and heads up for tomorrow as well, as she posts her competition. So there is a secret code word that I think a couple people are waiting for 1,000 extra entries into the giveaway. Pretty much most of the time when I pull the winners, majority of the time those that put in the code word win it. It's my way of holding all these people hostage so that they stay here. Olivia, do you have a code word you'd like to do for the giveaway? It could be anything in the world.
I think it would be very fitting if we made the code word Rui. R-U-I, the name of our Elden Lord.
There you go.
Totally not our cult leader.
All right.
It's not a cult.
It's not a cult. I'm honestly, I'm kind of down to join.
It's not a cult, I swear.
All right, guys, I'm updating the code right now, so please refresh your Gleams. It will not work unless you refresh it, but the code word is Rui in the chat, as you can see right there. But it's not a cult. It's not a cult.
It's not a cult.
Not a cult.
So it's fine. You guys should join. It's not a cult, I swear.
You know what? I'll be interested in joining too. I think he'll be a very kind Elden Lord. You know,
he's a good leader.
Yeah. There you go. All right, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. And remember, tune in live on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the official NZXT Twitch. And don't forget to listen to previous episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Got any questions for us? Send an email to podcast@nzxt.com or tag @NZXT on all social media platforms. Thank you, Olivia, for joining us today. Follow her on our socials, and we'll see you next time. And it's not a cult.
It's not a cult.